Greetings everyone, welcome aboard. Joseph James here. It's October 6th. Happy Wednesday to you. Here's your live trading recap brought to you by sidewaysmarkets.com and schooloftrade.com. Let's see here. Now, before we talk about the trades we took today, I want to remind you guys a couple key components in the blog right now. If you're on the blog, right, sidewaysmarkets.com is the blog. Make sure you guys follow the blog. That way you get all the new stuff that comes out. Don't forget, you can see our Facebook page, right? Follow us on Twitter. Check out the videos on the YouTube page. We got live support there. And then there are two main sections up top. You've got the webinars, tutorials, and then the trade room resources, right? Check out all the webinars on the webinar section. Check out the tutorials, articles, videos in the trade room resources, guys, right? So make sure you guys get to know the blog. And then if you ever need any help, guys, if you need any help, we have a live support team standing by to help you guys out. Let's see how we're doing here. 2, 4, 6, 7 trades for the day trading method. Only took 2 on the fast track today. Went 2 for 2 on the fast track, right? Pretty good day on the fast track. Challenging day out there. A lot of sitting and waiting on the fast track today. As you can see, though, I had a pretty challenging morning this morning. Had my feet to the fire for the first couple minutes, waiting for the market to kind of unload today. Now, we saw a couple key things early this morning. We'll talk about that in a second. As you can see, though, 68 ticks, right? 650 USD. The euro killed me, right? Both my trades in the euro today were small losses. Couldn't seem to get it put together in the euro. Had a winner on the euro fast track, right? Had 11 o'clock a crude breaker on the fast track as well. So we really gave back some money in the euro today. Made some pretty good cash on crude. It was all thanks to that breakout at 11 o'clock this morning. Let's take a look at what it looked like today, though, first, and we'll show you guys that in a second. So 5,900 for the week, for the month. All right, month 5,900, and of course, year so far at 155 and some change here, guys, in the room. If you want to copy this worksheet, right, I have the whole worksheet spreadsheet. If you guys want a copy of it, email me. Be happy to give you guys a copy of that. And if you guys have any questions, keep them coming. We'll keep you guys posted the rest of the month here. So what's the most important thing that happened today? What happened today? Well, it was a pretty challenging day. It was a Wednesday, so we had members training, which cut our day short a little bit in the room. All right. The dollar gave us some conflicting signals and then broke the lows. So what happened was the dollar gave us some reasons to be concerned in the beginning of the morning. But then the dollar dropped, broke the lows at around 10:45, and that's when things started moving. So just like we saw last Wednesday, if you guys recall last Wednesday was almost identical to what we saw today. Okay, it was a Wednesday morning, flat dollar, and of course it wasn't until after 11 o'clock Eastern time the market started moving, and of course we had to be patient for it. We had crude news at 10:30, so we didn't have much going on before 10:30 on crude. Okay, that kept crude oil pretty silent this morning. Okay, gold was flat as a board today. We had one chance to grab gold early this morning. We did, but it was a real small winner. And the euro continued to give me trouble today. Still had problems with the euro, trying to see that euro really move for us. All right, guys. So having some trouble in the euro with the scalps. Had to wait till after 10:30 on crude. And guys, just like last Wednesday, it was a waiting man's game, or gals, right? We had to wait this morning to see the volume come in, see the speed come in until late in the morning. We finally get the trades we want to be taking. All right, let's check the dollar out first. So here's our dollar. So what do we see in the dollar here, right? Because this is where I start my day every day. Well, first of all, what I see is there's my trading range from yesterday. And so what do you see today? I see our trading range today is right inside, except for these lows, right? So we broke the lows. This makes it an outside day. Okay, outside trading day on the dollar means expect something good, right? But here's where we had some conflicting signals. We also notice, look at how narrow this trading range was, right? Very narrow. Compare that to this trading range over here, right? This is a monster trading range from yesterday. So you're really going to see complete polar opposites here, guys, from one day to the next. Yesterday, we made 270 ticks in the room, and you can see big wide trading range. Today, we make a fraction of that, right? Difficult price action, and look what the trading range looks like. So tomorrow morning, when you open up your charts, the dollar looks narrow. You know today may be a good day to take the dog for a walk instead of trying to short the crude. All right, so look at the dollar. Dollar told us, right, outside day because we broke the lows, but very narrow trading range, which is of concern. But then look at the pattern we see in the dollar. What is that? That's a head and shoulders, right? There's your head and shoulders. So the head and shoulders told us get ready for the drop. All right, so we had three things. First thing was outside day. That was a good sign. Second thing was very narrow trading. That was a bad sign, right? Very narrow ranges are never good for us. And the third thing says a reversal pattern, right? That reversal pattern, which happens right here, that reversal pattern, head and shoulders, right? Up, down, and back down, right? That reversal pattern, we're going to look for that, the downside. So we knew we had a downward bias, but a very narrow trading range. And while we chopped around that narrow trading range, it made our life miserable, right? Trying to find patterns on other markets. All right, guys, so learn from that this morning. We knew right away it was going to be a challenge, right? So don't be afraid to take some losses here if you're going to be trading during a narrow trading range of the dollar. But once it broke those lows, and it did so around 11 o'clock this morning, once it broke those lows, we then had a bunch of speed, bunch of moves, and that's when we made our money today. Okay, now we took our first trade of the day on gold. Let's look at gold first. Now, guys, here's a great look on gold of what we had to do here. Now, this is a great example of how sometimes you've got a sideways range that has different levels of, in this case, of overhead resistance, right? The yellow box there is the master range, right? The big range. And then you'll see I've got these smaller boxes, the red and the green here. You can see define, right, my smaller ranges. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to trade inside this range here, right? Trade inside my sideways range here. But I'm not going to be afraid if I do move up to the upside, right? I'm going to sell the highs of 47.6. Okay, if we do break to the upside, I'm going to sell the highs of 50.8. And if we break out above the highs, I'm going to buy support. All right, guys, this is your typical sideways range. Now, here's what happened. We took our first trade of the day today on the gold. And what actually happened was, let me clear this off for you guys here. What happened was I took that trade right here. And it was literally about 10 seconds after we had gone over this chart, right? After 9:30 this morning. So we see the level here at 47.6, right? That's the overhead resistance. Well, guys, this happens all the time where we're going to have price that will come out. It'll rise above 47.6. And just as fast as it breaks out, it comes right back down in. And so what we did was we looked for a chance to buy above 47.6, never got it, so we sold the highs below 47.6. And so that's what our first trade of the day was, right? Understanding we had this sideways range here. All right, I will buy the breakout, but it's got to be a real breakout. In this case, it wasn't. It was just a fake out breakout. We sold the highs. Let's take a look at it. I'm now going to use a much faster time frame because my slower time frame is just used to find the basic areas. My fast time frame now is used to actually enter the trades. So here we go. There's that level again, 47.6. So here was that sideways range. All right, here was that sideways range. Now I'll admit I had a little bit of a bias here. Okay, this level here at 45.7, this is the previous high of day.